Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Red Dead Weapons. Today we're going to be doing the hunt knife in-game, also known as the Bowie Knife, the Arkansas Toothpick, the Sheffield Black, among other things. Now in-game, the general hunting knife is pretty much a Bowie, based off of James Bowie's design that was originally designed by a guy by the name of James Cliff, before Bowie himself got involved in a knife fight, also known as the sandbar fight. Pretty much, it was a duel that escalated into a full-on mosh pit fucking bloodbath, where Bowie got shot to shit, but he also proceeded to stab a bunch of dudes with his Bowie knife. Now this blade has a clip point. It's usually 12 to 18 inches in length and has a blade length of 5 to 12 inches. It was first designed in 1830 and was originated in Arkansas. And it was based off of a design by a blacksmith by the name of James Black, who, if you don't know who that is, he was an American knife maker best known for the Bowie knife, who was originally from New Jersey. So hey, New Jersey has something worthwhile, other than Jersey Shore, that shit show. But anyway, Bowie knife. In game, this knife has several different options in story mode. Anyway, you have John's knife, which is a smaller version of the Bowie, and it has his classic blade on it from Red Dead 1. You also have the Savor version, which is pretty much a Arkansas Toothpick. Here, I'll give a better look. This kind of is pretty much Arkansas Toothpick with like a walnut grip, foregrip, and it has a little knuckle duster attachment to it for extra grip. This one is rusted all to hell, and pretty much acts the same as any normal hunting knife. Now, the hunting knife first originated the origins of the Bowie is very murky, aka the hunting knife. I'm just gonna call it the Bowie. So that's how you say it. It's Bowie, not Bowie, not like David Bowie, though he was a good musician. It's Bowie, like a buoy. You know, you got a leaky buoy or a leaky dinghy or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the origins of the knife are really murky. There was already a predate of the knife design, with many blades of that time having wide blades, though this gun was very popular in the time period the game was set, though it's most famously attached to, as I said, James Bowie, who is well known for being, among other names, a land surveyor, a slave trader, a rancher, a politician to an extent, a duelist, a guy who died at Alamo, and for his knife fight, sandball fight, and for the breeding of Catahoula leopard dogs. So, yeah, this fight I'm talking about is called the sandbar fight, which Bowie took part in, and pretty much stabbed a bunch of dudes with his beloved knife. Now, the knife was filed from as a gift made by a man by the name of Jesse Clift on the request of James's brother, Resin Bowie. Yes, I know. Now, this knife resembled a Spanish hunting knives of the day and differed little from a common butcher knife, though the Resin Bowie was 9.5 inches long and about 1/4 inch thick and 1.5 inches wide. It was a straight-backed blade that was large as a buff knife, but didn't have a clip point nor any handguard, with a simple riveted wooden scale handle. The design of this was also reported to be adapted for Mediterranean use, mainly by the Spanish pirates and South American pirates as such. And it was also very common in the old Southwest, mainly along the Mexico and its territories. These knives are also known as the Arkansas Toothpick because, as I said, they were originated in Arkansas. And was actually made, there's a well-known design called Sheffield Black, pretty much was designed by an Arkansas blacksmith, as I said, by the name of James Black, on a gift to James Bowie. There's a couple stories to this. The other one was made by James Clift. It's murky, and it's whatnot. Though the one made by Black was produced out of a wooden martel in December of 1830, and had a sharpened edge on the curved top end of the blade. And there was two models of this, and Bowie chose Black's modified one. And with that, the historical shape of the Bowie was made, but had a false edge added to it, and are called Sheffield Buoys, because that blade type became so popular apparently that it was used in cutlery factories in Sheffield, England, which was mass producing them for export to the US by 1850, with handles made from either hardwood, deer antler, or bone, and sometimes with a guard and other fittings of sterling silver. The James Black Bowie had a blade length of 12 inches with 2 inches wide at the handle and about 1/4 inch thick, and the spine of the knife was coated with a soft brass or silver, reports differ, and which was reportedly used to catch the opponent's blade in the course of a knife fight, while the brass protected the hand from the blade. This knife was with Bowie when he died at the Alamo. And there's also other report of Bowie disemboweling a man, decapitating a man, and the other one castrating a man with his beloved Bowie. This knife is a real go-getter. No wonder it sold so well. And during Bowie's battle at the Battle of the Alamo, Bowie was said to have shot and stabbed the shit out of several Mexican soldiers, though it's more likely he died in bed. Now, the way Black designed it was never shown, and there's many claims that Black had rediscovered the secrets of producing true Damascus steel, though also there are also several other claims as to where this origin of the knife is: Williamsburg, Arkansas, Texarkana, and such. Now, this knife was very popular in the Civil War. I'm holding the Civil War version of it currently. A lot of pictures of soldiers on both sides using it. I mean, most had a square D handle like this one. Yeah, like John Brown had one on him during Bleeding Kansas. Jeb Stuart took it actually off of him. John Wilkes Booth had one when he dropped his Bowie after he killed Lincoln. Buffalo Bill Cody reportedly scalped a chief in Red for Custer at the Battle of Warbonnet Creek. Brigham Young used to carry a Bowie knife with him and dreamed about killing ex-Mormon apostates because, well, as you know, Mormons are the nicest cult members you'll ever meet. They also might want to stab you with the Bowie knife. Fucking Brigham Young, dude. He had 20-something fucking wives and like 100 kids or some shit. Dude, Mormons are fucking crazy. Like shit. I knew a Mormon housewife who would fucking have an orgy with 2 of her lesbian friends or some shit. But that's another story. The Bowie knife, though, actually ended up becoming declined in the late 19th century due to the large caliber and reliable revolvers that were being produced by the time, reducing the advantage of having a fucking knife on you. Though during the Civil War, they were very popular. Though this knife itself actually eventually had a basis on the United States Marine Corps' K-Bar knife of World War II, is based off the Bowie design. Though I personally have a Bowie knife. It was made in Pakistan. Sadly, it's not American, but has a dark walnut stock, brass ending, and a handguard, and is about 9 inches, about 11 inches total. 10-inch blade. Really nice knife. It's good for cutting shit and stabbing into dead meat. I mean, like cattle, you know, not people, not fucking sociopath, you cunts. Yeah. Also, other fun fact: the United States Air Force's survival knife is based off the Bowie that has a sawtooth machined in the backside, and were used to cut through acrylic glass canopies of a downed aircraft during Vietnam. This knife is in the Cutlery Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia. Custom knife maker Ernest Emerson originally used a Bowie knife in his logo, and now manufactures a folding Bowie knife. So if you're looking for something like that, then check out Ernest Emerson. More modern reproductions include the Alfred Williams design. It has a EBRO trademark stamp on it and is made by Adolph Castor & Sons in New York and Joseph Wolstenholme Sons in Sheffield. Williams specialized in selling these knives to the U.S. market, blah blah blah, all that jazz, and a unique Alfred Williams Bowie knife sold for 60 grand to a Texan family. There are a lot of variations to design. Like, you can have like the knuckle duster grip, you can have sawtooth on it. Like in game, you got the antler knife. It's pretty much a Bowie knife. All these knives are this is pretty much a Bowie knife, but it has a deerskin blade on it, which is, I wish we could get this in online. I would use that in online totally. Pretty much, it's a Bowie knife, broken hand guard. That's it. That's literally how popular this knife blade is, and how it still is. Like they still use it with the military and shit. It is such a great time. Like previously said though, like there was even like a pistol made like a revolver. It was a revolver, I think. It was a knife revolver, but it had a Bowie knife blade sticking out underneath the barrel with the barrel on top of it. You would shoot your rounds out of it, and then if the fucker wanted to still go, you could shank him while reloading the gun. It's the Bowie is just Americana at its finest. I mean, the Confederacy is Confederate soldiers are known for carrying the D-guard Bowies. I mean, shit. Arkansas soldiers carry the Arkansas Toothpick, though the Arkansas Toothpick is in its own design and pretty much is it's like a dirk. An Arkansas Toothpick is pretty much a dirk. If you don't want to know what a dirk is, it's a fucking Scottish like dagger. It's like if you played Assassin's Creed 3, you know what it is. You'd seen it, but it's whatever. Now, these knives are also very collectible. Yeah. Yeah. Mainly, actually, there's also reports of these collectible Bowie knives going for sale up to $200,000. I mean, and let's not forget this gun's been featured in numerous pop culture phenomenon, like Dracula, example, had have a stake through in his heart, was actually killed by a Bowie knife. And, like, if you ever read Dracula at the end, oh, it says a stake through the heart and whatnot, but in the book, he gets stabbed by a Bowie knife, he gets his head chopped off by a kukri. Bowie knives appeared in the works of American authors like Harry Beecher Stowe, Mark Twain, Charles Dickens, and Frenchman Julius Verne. Like, this knife is world fucking famous. You show a picture of a Bowie knife to someone, they're like, oh hey, yeah, that's the Bowie knife. That's Americana. Yeah. I mean, shit. Like, even the wide blade knife, it's just a different take on the Bowie. That's all these knives are just copy and paste. Like, this is more of what Jim Bowie would have used, was this damn kind of knife. Alright? I mean, that's what he would use. Alright? That's what Jim Bowie would have used, folks. That's the Bowie knife right there. That's a Bowie. That's my kind of fucking knife. Alright? That's the Bowie. I mean, shit. Like, and going back to the pop culture stuff, like, you even had a singer take its name after the Bowie, but it's David Bowie. I've already said that. I mean, it featured in Crocodile Dundee. You know, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Fucking. I mean, even John Wayne's The Searchers, 1956 with John Wayne. His character uses a Bowie to scalp a Comanche chief that he'd been hunting throughout the movie. Like, it's even in Friday the 13th with fucking Michael using it. I mean, it's in a lot of Call of Duty games. I mean, it's even Street Fighter 5. I mean, Cody Travers uses it. I mean, shit. Now, in terms of legal use, in Mississippi in 1837, the Bowie knife. We're getting on to the legal aspect of this here because it's a knife. And, because it's the southern U.S. and we have a code of honor down here, yeah, we used to like to duel each other over some petty shit. Like, hey, you threw a rock at me. I'm gonna challenge you to a knife fight because you threw a rock at me or you fucking touched my sister's fucking nipple or some shit. Real hillbilly type shit, you know? Though, hillbillies are more mountainous folk and more peaceful than but yeah, in terms of legality, 1837, about a couple years after Bowie's death at the Alamo, Alabama passed legislative laws imposing a $100 fine or transfer tax on Bowie knives and decreeing that anyone who carried a Bowie who subsequently killed a person with the said knife would be charged with premeditated murder. Louisiana and Virginia prohibited the concealed carry of any Bowie knife, while Mississippi made such knives illegal when carried concealed or when used as a dueling weapon. Tennessee was actually very popular. So, like, the Bowie knife was also so popular in Tennessee that it alarmed the state's legislature so bad in 1838 that they not only made the concealed carry of a Bowie knife a criminal felony, but also prohibited the use of a Bowie knife in any altercation, regardless of self-defense or mitigating excuse. And here's a quote from it that says, "If any person carrying a knife or weapon known as a Bowie knife or any knife or weapon that shall in form, shape, or size resemble a Bowie knife on a sudden encounter shall cut or stab another person with such knife or weapon, whether death ensues or not, such person so stabbing or cutting shall be guilty of felony, and upon conviction shall be confined in the jail and penitentiary house of the state for a period of not less of 3 years or no more than 15. In modern day Texas, the state that Bowie died while carrying his beloved knife, the carrying of a Bowie knife was regulated in public places under Texas state law until 2017. This changed on September 1st, 2017, where now Bowie knives can be carried freely throughout the state, except all knives with a blade length over 5 inches are now location restricted knives, which cannot be carried in schools, polling places, places of worship, amusement parks, etc., like hospitals and correction facilities, racetracks, all that shit. Because, you know, Texans, they just don't give a fuck, you know? That's why I like Texas. They just don't give a fuck. They'll do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, if they want to have a fucking orgy, they're gonna have a fucking orgy. Who gives a shit? Texans don't give a fuck. They're also very friendly. But anyway, yeah. Also, you're not allowed to bring a Bowie knife in Texas on grounds that have sales of alcohol at 50% or more. But anyway, in terms of historical accuracy, these knives that you can find on players and carry in game, they are completely accurate to the time period. Sure, they may be falling out of style, like the hunting knife. I mean, you can customize this completely. Like, you could order these customized and everything. These knives are the epitome of historical accuracy. Now, I don't know about the D-knuckle handguard Bowie knife here being still used. I mean, you might find it because, like in Lemoyne, because you have them old Confederate boys and such, like Lemoyne Raiders. But yeah, that'd probably be it for hunting knife on Red Dead weapons. Overall, completely accurate to the time. I don't really know about the Ornate Dagger is pretty much a fucking Arkansas toothpick though, on a side note. But yeah, fucking that's it for this episode of Red Dead Weapons. Hope y'all enjoyed. Next episode, you know, I haven't done the repeating shotgun, I don't think. I might do that one next. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Good luck out there, and peace. Auf Wiedersehen.